Welcome to Gunners Are Us, where we are positively England.
Well, for now, we're going to be Arsenal and England.
Yeah.
But going forward, it could be positively England for the summer.
I'm going to be honest, I've kind of forgotten what the Arsenal team looks like. It's been too long.
It has been too long. It's been a week.
It's going to be even longer as well. We've got to wait longer.
It's been a little bit. We've got a week and a half. Haaland has walked out of, limped out of
Yeah.
Norway training. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to get to all of that in today's episode. This is Gunners Are Us podcast. We are on iTunes, Spotify, Google Pods every single Wednesday. We do bonus episodes as well. Make sure you give us a 5-star review. Make sure you download it. And we are Gunners Are Us podcast on TikTok. 2 videos minimum per day, 7 days a week. Get over there, like that, follow us. We're on our road to 10K. Let's say that. And I've just seen in the chat, because we're live on TikTok right this second, every week, 10 a.m. GMT. 199 for the authentic
juvenile one. Oh my
Jesus.
I won't be getting one.
Because we're talking about on the live, before we went live, we were talking about the England shirt.
And if you can, jump on the live TikTok, because we had some technical difficulties beforehand. The live was going and we were answering a lot of questions in there. And since we've added this live with all the comments, it's a lot more fun because it feels like we're all involved. Yeah. We're all enjoying this.
We're not just screaming into a wall. So it's very nice. Again, Simon's not with us. If you follow Simon316 on all forms of socials, you'll know he's got WrestleMania coming up, as do I. And then directly from there, he's going into a wrestling theatre production that goes all around New York City.
Because if you didn't know, you and me and Simon Miller, we're all wrestlers.
We're all wrestlers.
We're wrestlers. It's our side hustle. But for Simon, it's his full-time hustle.
It's his full-time hustle. So he's going to be away for 2 months. So it's a long time. So he hasn't been on the pod because he's been preparing for that, as you probably know if you're following him. And then while he's away, we might try and get him on the old Zoom for a couple episodes, because obviously he's excited for the run-in and he's going to be away for the majority of it. And then as we get closer to summer, we're all going to get involved with England. We're going to spend 200 quid on a kid's new shirt.
Don't know.
And maybe we'll get into that.
Speaking of shirts quickly and the run-in, I just want to say, last season I had this thing.
Okay, yeah.
I wouldn't buy an Arsenal shirt because we were doing really well and I didn't want to jinx it. Then we kind of blew it at the end a little bit. This season I did the same. We're doing well. Didn't want to buy an Arsenal shirt. I've had this one bought for me. I want to know in the chat. My theory this season, now I have this shirt, is do I wear it for the run-in? Because the opposite's going to happen to last season, where now I have a shirt. We're now going to go on and win the league.
Well, I'll take it.
Because I'm nervous, because we got City next. And it's a big risk for me to wear this for the City game.
Joe, if you don't know, Joe's very into superstition.
Yeah.
AFC in the chat says, come on, Arsenal. Hopefully.
Let's
go. Hopefully, you're right. Hopefully, this will work out. I don't think you need to worry about it. Because here's the thing. In real reality, no matter what shirt you're wearing, they don't know about it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually affect it. So if you do wear it and we win, it didn't have any...
I'll take credit.
You will. But if we lose, they didn't know you're wearing it. So don't worry too much.
And because I tested this last season, we're used to that losing it at the end thing. So the risk feels less risky this season.
Because we're in a 3-horse race as opposed to leading the pack.
Yeah, and the upside is good if we do go on to win it.
I missed who said it, but someone just mentioned they don't bet on themselves betting-wise. It's a bad omen. So similar to that with the shirts. I get that. And I've told this story before, but I worked night shifts in a hotel. And a man who was very down on his luck was at the bar one night. And he said to me, do you bet? Which was a worrying thing to say. And I said, I'll occasionally dabble in a goals, or an accumulator, or a parlay, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And he said, never bet on your own team.
Yeah.
He said, because it's a win-win then.
Yeah, true.
And I thought that's why you're down on your luck.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I just want to say quickly.
He also left me a £20 tip. So I don't know.
Well, he must be doing all right.
There you go.
Steve on one. Is that it? He said, I'm the same in big games. I have to wear my top I was given by Pat Rice.
Wow. Father of Declan.
There you go. We have another great Rice in the team.
We do have another great Rice. It's honestly, the shirt thing is, I have to buy a shirt every single year from Arsenal Direct.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I mean the website, the Arsenal Direct, or from the actual armory. and I have to wear that shirt for every game. Even if I'm away on holiday or something, I have to wear the shirt.
You can't wash it.
If it's a 3 o'clock, yeah, I can't wash it. It's like hockey. You can't. You gotta have mustard stains on it, blood stains, tears, a lot of tears. When we play at 3 o'clock and I can't watch, I'll still wear the shirt just if I'm out.
Well, I'm gonna preface this real quick. I've said it on the podcast before.
While Arsenal are playing, I have to be wearing an Arsenal shirt that season.
The one time I've worn an Arsenal shirt in the last 2 seasons,
right,
was a retro goalkeeping shirt that I think you got me.
I think it might have been your illustrious girlfriend.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was like a 90s, 80s, 90s Arsenal goalkeeper shirt, and I wore it for the Lisbon game where we went out of Europe. That was the one game, and we went out of Europe. That's why I feel so weird about this. But do you know what? With the help of the chat, with the help of you,
appreciate the chat.
I'm going to wear this shirt for the rest of the season.
This is it. If you don't know as well, he has Declan Rice on the back.
I do. I'm not going to get up and show you because it would mean a lot of movement, not a lot of room.
Yeah, this brick wall. It's synonymous with us, this brick wall at this point. Yeah, so it's going to get really busy. What we're kind of saying is this is kind of the break week. So this podcast isn't going to be quite as long as our usual ones because we've got no prediction league. We've kind of done a bonus podcast about everything that's happened before. So we've got really nothing to say, but there's actually a nice little list because in front of me, we're going to get into the Bayern draw a little bit, have Joe's opinion because obviously I was there for the live on TikTok. Thank you. 5,500 people joined us.
Very good.
The internationals. So talking about the injuries or these kayfabe wrestling term for fake injuries of all these high-end players in title races leaving. What our starting 11 for England would be. We haven't got any Brazilians out at the minute. They're all back with us, albeit Brazil are training at the colony. I say the colony, the Sobar relaxation temple, whatever it's called now. And then, which we're undefeated since we've gone there.
True that.
Gone there, renamed. And then Ben White, your mission. We're also going to talk about a little bit about the Forest point deduction and a bit on the title race right before we leave. Because it kind of feels like the calm before the storm. Because as of next Wednesday, we're going to be previewing another week of Premier League and the Man City game. So it's a big one. The week after that, every single week after that, we'll be previewing at least one game plus Champions League quarterfinals.
Oh my God.
So
just take this time to relax and breathe.
It's essentially 10 weeks of fast and furious. And also, I'm in Philadelphia.
Yeah, you are.
Between podcasts. So we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So felt like a lot. That's the end of the podcast.
Thank God.
I hope you enjoyed it. I wanted to quickly update anyone that follows along with the prediction league. This week there was 5 games. There wasn't many games at all. Sorry, in the chat, someone just said that away kit reminds me of Kai Havertz. It reminds everyone of Kai Havertz, and I have no clue why. But it does, yes.
And at the start of the season, everyone was very they were questioning Kai Havertz and this kit.
Yeah,
I can safely say at this point,
I'm in love with both.
The kit and Kai Havertz feels very good.
You can't choose your family. Do you know what I mean? Leah says, "Hey."
Yeah.
So prediction league. There was 5 games to happen. It was a lot of Lutons and stuff, and fantasy football was a nightmare for everyone.
Yeah.
I've actually done well considering I had 3 players playing.
Yeah, I didn't do too badly either.
I tell you, didn't do well.
Who?
In the prediction league? Simon. He got 0 out of 5.
No.
You got 2 out of 5.
Okay, that's
and I got 2 out of 5.
Fair.
So that leaves the standings on Simon with 110. Me on 119, and then Joe is on 130 at the top still. 11 points clear.
Solid.
But again, we're not predicting anything today because, there's no games. But we will be getting to some of the talking points. And in the chat, 60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz
scores again.
So we played Porto last week. We did a podcast. I think it was the morning after. The morning after. But what you haven't talked about is the fact that we drew Bayern Munich. So basically, if someone has said, what's the worst case scenario? You'd probably say we'd probably have to play a Bayern Munich or a Real Madrid. Then we'd have to play a Real Madrid, Bayern or City. And then in the final, play Barcelona because all the history of us losing a final. And here's the best part. We're home in the quarterfinals first leg.
Okay.
Which is, again, the worst of the 2.
Yeah.
And then we're home in the semis of the 2. And then if we get to a final, which is a huge if, we have to wear the away kit.
And we'll be home technically as well because it's London.
We're in London and we can't be against another English team in the final, but we're the away team. And therefore we're going to have to wear our away shirt, which is lovely. But it's also a reminder if it's against Barcelona that we wore that yellow kit in 2006 when we lost that final. So the draw was written in a certain way to just be very upsetting to Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
But the positive to all of this is we can, work for a lot of demons,
Yep.
work for a lot of, situations that we haven't been good in the past. This year we beat Man City in the league. That was something we don't do.
Yep.
We don't really win at Old Trafford. That's another one. We won it last year. Now we don't ever win knockout games in the Champions League for 20 years. We did that. It took a lot of work, but we did it.
Yeah.
We don't beat Bayern Munich. We got to go do that now. We don't beat Real Madrid or Man City or get to a final. We need to do that. To get to a final, we might be against Barcelona. We don't beat them in finals. So all of these things, if all of this works out, we would have there's probably a good word to use here, but essentially vanished our demons.
Exactly. We've expelled them.
Expelled is the word.
We've expelled our demons. I'm going to make a prediction right now.
Yeah.
Champions League final will be Arsenal-Barcelona. And we will
put £10 on it.
I might. And we will win 1-0.
We'll win 1-0.
And it'll be Kai Havertz that scores.
I think David Raya will get sent off and then Ramsdale will make a mistake.
I'm going to go 1-0, Arsenal-Barcelona, Arsenal 1-0, Kai Havertz scores, this kit and Kai Havertz become iconic in that moment.
Yeah. What do you think of the draw? Because in the chat, we've got a couple of questions about it. I don't think I could take losing to Barcelona in the final. I know it's a horrible thought. But Kane looks to be out with this ankle injury.
Yeah,
I don't know much about this ankle injury. It looked bad. It didn't look like one of these made-up injuries that everyone seems to be getting right the second before the run-in.
Yeah.
It looked awkward on the post and things like that. I don't know if he's with England. I think he's travelled to England and he's with England, but I don't think he'd be playing.
He was walking around fine in the kit launch photos and stuff. When was that done?
I don't know. I'm not sure. So, yeah, I don't know. He looks like he might be out, but I mean, we don't play him for 3 weeks, is it? 2.5 weeks?
Yeah, he's got
3
time.
weeks. So he's got a little bit of time. I don't think it's necessarily, with or without Kane, they're going to be annoying anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry too much about Kane.
We don't have a good history with Bayern Munich in the Champions League.
We don't. So, we've lost 5-1 the last 3 times we played them. Over the last, I think it's 7 attempts before this year with Porto. The first game we got in the Champions League knockouts was either Barcelona or Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich we got 4 times. We've lost every single tie. A couple of them were really tight. The Ozil Sanchez era team, we did manage to do 3-0 and we went out on away goals, which wouldn't exist now. We went away and won 2-0, I believe, at the Allianz.
Yeah.
So as much as we remember the 10-2s exactly in the chat from Ben, one, it's a very different team that we have. It's a very different team they have.
Yeah.
It's a different time generally. Because back then, I mean, I remember being petrified of drawing Barcelona and Bayern and these teams, because it was almost like an onslaught, wasn't it? We would just be standing in a line.
Yeah.
And there was a million people just making runs into our box and you couldn't stop it. It was like putting like plasters on like a gutter that was just leaking everywhere. And it just never, I just think, I don't get how we could ever get through all this. And again, in the Premier League, I remember about 3-4 years ago watching Man City, Liverpool, and these teams. And the way in which the players were popping up in the right areas and just there was always a pass on and the way the ball kept moving, I was just like, God, we'll never be this good. But what's happened over the last couple of years is we are that team that do that now.
Things have changed.
Better than anyone in the league, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Obviously, City are more robotic, but I mean, we have a nice mix. Liverpool do the high pressing and they nick the ball late and then they
play with emotion.
And they play with a big emotion. And then Man City are very robotic. So they do the best case scenario on every single pass.
Without emotion.
Yeah, even if it goes backwards. So as long as you can't touch the ball, they're happy. Then they'll work their way forward. We do this thing where we're somewhere in between the two teams where there's a bit of emotion. It's a bit robotic, but we're always looking for a forward pass. So it's a lot, I think, of all the 3 teams, it's the most fun to watch as a fan of that team. Because Liverpool ones are a little bit stressful because, they have to win the ball to do it.
Yeah.
Whereas City's one, even if I watch City, I fall asleep because it's so dull. So we have become that team. And we need to remember that Bayern Munich, they're 10 points behind Leverkusen. The team in general is a couple of players want to get out. They got people like Eric Dyer starting ahead of Kim. Harry Kane is breaking all the records, but he broke all the records in the Premier League. Didn't mean that Spurs always beat Arsenal. He scored a lot against us, but I mean, we beat them a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to be as worried as we were 5-6 years ago, but it's going to be a very tough game. I just think it's a very good game.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think I'm more interested now than I was like back in the day when we faced these teams. It'd be more of a, oh my God, we're not going to win this. Let's just try and survive. Whereas now, the way we play, my confidence is up. Our players' confidence is up. Our ability's up. These two teams, Bayern and Barcelona, they're not what they used to be. They're not the same teams. We're better, I think, now than we were. They're not as good as they were.
Yeah.
So I think it's a perfect combination just to see what we're capable of. I mean, even if we don't get through it, the first one, even Bayern Munich, I think it's nice to see us in this position, what we're capable of, like test-wise, for this team going forward. Because it is a young team. There's a long game. Like, even if we go out, even if we lose the league, all of this is a test to see that next season we can come back better, keep moving forward. Because I think there is, even from this point now, I think there's still a 5-point plan, 5-year plan.
There is. And when, like, again, we'll get to that because the 5-year plan is kind of exactly what was kind of explained to us. And we were like, to be fair, we all laughed. Even though we wanted it, we were like, that'll be nice, but it's not going to happen. In the chat, they brought up Robin. Robin used to destroy us. And
What a
I mean,
nightmare.
now they've got Kingsley Coman and Nabry's going to be wanting to make a point.
Yeah.
But I mean, Robin back then and Muller, and it was just horrific.
Nightmare.
So it is a very different one. And we are a very different team. But like you were just saying, the 5-point plan that Arteta brought up, which was essentially said after 3 years to get back in the Champions League, we did that, but we also challenged for a Premier League.
Yeah.
The same year, that was last year. Then the next year, he said we would look to win the Premier League. And then the 5th year, he would look to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
So essentially, if we did win the Premier League this year and went out in the quarters or the semis in the Champions League, and the next year won the Champions League, we did exactly what this first-time manager said. So I think this is something that can't be lost, is a first-time manager, never managed before. Think of all the Lampards and your Solskjaers and Gerrards.
Yep.
All these players that, Roy Keane's tried it. All these, Sol Campbell, Tony Adams.
Yep.
They've all tried it. They're not good. For a player like Arteta to go, I'm going to be a first-time manager, and the first club I'm going to take on is not Stevenage. It's not, Leverkusen. It's like even what Alonso's doing. Alonso's doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
But he's not gone and figured it out first.
Yep.
He's jumped into, in my opinion, in world football, there's probably about
Whoa.
that came out of nowhere.
You good?
We're still coming off this illness. There's about 6 or 7 poison chalices.
Yeah.
And also the timing is awful. Like Man United, I don't think there's ever a time now since Ferguson. Ten Hag could win the FA Cup this year and get him into top 4, and people would still be disappointed in him. And then next year, Southgate's going to come in there and he could win the Premier League. They'd probably sack him. There's no, because they'd be like, we're not playing the right football. It's a bit defensive.
The expectation.
There's poison chalices. Man United are one of them. Liverpool will be one of them post Klopp.
Yeah.
And they were for a long time before Klopp. Arsenal are, especially post Wenger.
Yeah.
Places like Real Madrid, because again, Chelsea is another one. You can't really do anything right, because even if you do something right, you lose. If I mean, does that make sense?
The expectation from the fans and the team as a whole now is bigger. And he came into Arsenal when Arsenal was not in a good place. Like, not just on the pitch, behind the scenes. The whole thing was a mess. Like, it was quiet at the Emirates. He's coming into a team he captained, so the pressure's crazy there. He's coming into a team in the Premier League, pressure's crazy there. A team that should be competing with Liverpool and City, the pressure's there. And like you said, everything he said he'd do is happening in real time.
Yeah, exactly. And he's done such a, it's got to be studied one day, because it is ridiculous what he's done.
Yeah.
You got Ethan in the chat saying he's won nothing. Well, he's won an FA Cup and 2 Community Shields, and considering they're saying that Klopp's won 8 trophies in 8 years, and they've included Community Shields, Super Cups, and Club World Cups, I think we're allowed to say he's won 3 out of the 8 that Klopp has won.
Yeah.
So,
and we're still in the early stages of his plan as well.
This is 3 years into 4, and again, Klopp after 3 years, that's when he started to reach Champions League finals and started to challenge in the league. And again, so far, first year he had to get rid of a lot of dead weight and change the way he played straight away. Like, he said how he wanted to play and then did something different.
Yeah.
Second year, another, bringing in certain players. And now it's starting to like, what's so odd now is seeing the fact that we've almost moved beyond, Zinchenko and Jesus and Ramsdale.
We're evolving,
Yeah, last year, if someone had said to me, next year you'll get rid of, let's say, well, they won't play Partey, Zinchenko, Jesus and Ramsdale.
Yeah.
I would have said, well, we're massively regressing.
Yeah.
But we've all kind of had that little like stubbornness where throughout the season we've all argued, oh, Ramsdale should be our goalie. Why is Havertz playing?
Yeah.
All these questions. Declan Rice for 100 million, is he better than Partey? All these questions. That all now, I think we'd all 100% agree is he was correct on all of them.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's making now like these fine tuning things, whereas before, it was easy to say, let's move Louise out and let's bring in Saliba.
Yeah.
But again, even with the Saliba thing, he did things like leave him out on loan, and there was an argument, and we were like, "Oh, what's he doing? He's going to ruin it." That extra year has made him such a player.
Yeah.
People like Gabriel and that he's making a main part. Ben White, 50 million. Everyone said too much money. He's unreal, and he's signed that new contract. So everything he's done has been so clever, and he's even got people like Cedric still there.
Yeah.
So the Deadwood is not King Deadwood, we call him.
Yeah, King Deadwood.
He hasn't even gone yet, and him and El Nani and Partey and Eddie and these guys are going to leave in the summer, and we're going to bring in a lot of new players.
Yeah.
Not until next year is that squad going to be 100% his and his perfect idea. And that's crazy. It's taken 5 years. But again, he said in year 4, we'll potentially win a title. Year 5, we'll potentially challenging for the Champions League.
Yeah.
And he's spot on with what he said. So all these things are crazy that it's actually worked out the way it has. And even winning the FA Cup has kind of extended his time. Because I think that first year would very easily, they could have sacked him.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't good still. Again, he was working with bizarre players, but he won that FA Cup. Bought himself some time. Good faith. Because and I've said it on the podcast millions of times, we can't snub our nose at Community Shields and FA Cups and Carabao Cups. Like Liverpool winning the Carabao Cup this year, everyone's like, no one cares about it. No, we should care about it.
Yeah.
There's teams like Everton who haven't won a trophy in like 50, 60 years.
A trophy's a trophy.
Like West Ham, they're calling themselves European champions because they won the Conference League.
Yeah. And so they should.
Yeah. They haven't won a trophy in 50 years. So we can't, like, just because we're a Big Six team, you can't. You have to say, if we get a Wembley final, if you go to Carabao Cup, that's brilliant. It's so good to get a final. So I hate the whole concept of kind of downgrading certain trophies or it's just a Carabao Cup. It's like, no, that's a cup. Yeah. That's a cup that any other team, the other 94 teams in the English league would dream of winning.
Absolutely.
So definitely never snub our nose at those things. Sorry, in the chat. I felt bad for Ramsdale, up the Arsenal. Any silverware is good. Exactly what I mean is it's so much fun. Like even when we beat City in the Community Shield, I wasn't bothered. I was watching it going, it wasn't like an FA Cup final where I'd be panicked.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world if you lose.
No, but I was excited, the idea of beating City. I thought mentally it'd be a good start to the season, which it was.
Yeah.
And also you get to see your players holding a trophy at Wembley and the fireworks go off. Anytime you can see that, that's what it's about.
Yeah. You got to take it back to when you're a kid as well. Like, I mean, I used to get the Match magazine and Shoot. And they'd always have posters in there of anyone that won Community Shields, any of the stuff, Carabao Cup. I'd have it on my wall. So I was celebrating that as a kid because I saw it as a trophy. I think we overthink it now.
Now it's all about stats and like, do you know what I mean? Like people talk about players. Sorry, just someone in there said plenty of Arsenal fans mocking the Conference League. I don't think we're in any place to mock as Arsenal fans anything European.
No.
I mean, we won the Fairs Cup back in '94, and I don't even think it was called the Fairs Cup. It was called something else.
Winners' Cup.
Yeah, and then there was the Fair Cup in like the '70s.
It was against Parma. We won 1-0. Alan Smith scored a header.
Yeah, and we have no European acumen. We have no leg to stand on when it comes to European. We can't rip into anyone.
Yeah.
Conference League, Europa Cup. We would have taken any Europa Cup. That cup final we had in Baku, still one of the worst things I've ever watched. Like that is one of my worst memories, and that's like new. As a United fan, I hope you win the league. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I think it would be good for the league if either us or Liverpool won it. Yeah. As a United fan, I'm sure you don't want Liverpool to win it, but it'll become the Bundesliga very quickly if we keep allowing City to win that league.
It's teams with history as well. I know you can't always do that because City haven't built a full history yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, teams like Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, teams that should be fighting for the league, that have history, they have a proud badge.
Forest, Sheffield United.
Yeah, even
Aston Villa.
There's teams with so much history that deserve more. So
shout out to Man City fans that have been Man City fans their whole life.
Yeah, you must be enjoying yourselves.
Yeah,
I really
those
that.
ones.
Yeah,
but there's just few of you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's also just Man City's ran so well, but I mean, there's 115 charges. There's so much going on with that team. it's hard to get on board with that being a fair. They tried to make they're like the Kansas City Chiefs in the NFL. They tried to make themselves the underdog somehow.
Yeah.
And they're not. They have to get over at some point.
How many Man City fans have you ever met? Because I haven't even seen any pop up in this chat yet.
I saw an MCFC join the chat.
Okay. They're few and far between.
There is a live creator that's very good, a Man City fan, an old boy. Yeah, I say old boy. He's not. He's probably 50. Sorry if you're watching this and you're not 50, but I think you're 50. He wears like a Man City bucket hat and he talks about Man City every single day live.
Nice.
And he's very good. And again, probably a Man City fan his entire life.
And shout out to fans of all teams. Like, I know we like to joke about like Tottenham, things like that.
We do. That's the one that we get and love.
But the one thing we all have in common is the lifelong joy we have of supporting the team we support from the day we're born to the day we die.
Yeah.
That's what you're known for. That's your thing.
Well, that's the thing.
Enjoy it.
I wouldn't be enjoying this season, these last 2 seasons, as much as I would without, post Invincibles Arsenal. And again, post Invincible Arsenals, the 5-6 years after that, we were very good and we should have won a lot more. Then there was a lot of down years. But again, in our down years, we won 3 FA Cups.
Yeah.
It is mad.
We've been very spoiled.
Yeah, and since 2015 or 2014, we've won 4 FA Cups. In 10 years, 4 FA Cups and 4 Community Shields is a lot of things. We've watched them walk up the steps at Wembley and hold up something 8 times in 10 years.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's it's not what City have done or Liverpool and these teams, but it's we make fun of Tottenham, but I mean Tottenham would die to have an FA Cup.
Yeah, 100%.
And so we can't, that.
And if you're a kid that was born in the last 15, 20 years and you became an Arsenal fan because your family are Arsenal fans or for whatever reason, you've watched Arsenal walk those steps most of your life and you assume Arsenal are a very successful team.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah, I think nowadays, with the stats, yeah, exactly. Chelsea have gone to 5 of the last 7 cup finals and they've only won 2. Exactly. Like, we're not only, by the way, do we go to these finals?
Yeah.
We only go to finals and win finals.
Yeah.
I haven't watched us lose a final, a Community Shield, something like that, in so long. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we have a very bizarrely good record at Wembley, which is ironic, the Champions League finals. But hey, I'm not holding out hope for either of these things.
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying the journey because, like I said, 1 team will win the league. 19 teams will have a bad season, supposedly. If we're relying on our happiness being winning the league, that's not the point, is it? The point is enjoying watching your team every single week and hoping for the best. And that's what I'm doing. And that is what's going to lead me. I'm going to jump here to the title race.
Yep.
Because this podcast is the last one before we get going, I just wanted to get a final thought and in the chat, let us know what you think. Liverpool's run-in looks the nicest. City's acumen and kind of history in these run-ins is the best. And Arsenal's form is probably the best of the 3. So everyone's got something riding for them. There's a point separating us and Liverpool to City.
Yeah.
It's just goal difference. I can't believe we had that purple patch in January and February where we were 15 goals or 11 goals. 11 goals behind them in the goal difference part. We're now 8 clear of everyone. That is a mad swing.
I still feel like that goal difference is going to be
I hope it does.
Play a big part.
I think it's either going to play a big part or, like I said before this went live, at the end of the season, City will win the league. And Arsenal Liverpool fans will go, do you remember when we thought we were in a title race? Because it kind of feels like that last year because we lost by 4 points last year. But they weren't really 4 points because they played their second team the last 2 games and basically lost. So really they won by about 9 points.
Yeah.
But on paper, it was 4 points. The 4 points difference was just us winning one of the games against City. If we had beaten City at home or away, we won the league. And that's how crucial it can come down to. So when you kind of look at, for example, the City game in a week and a half, a point or just not losing that game is so important. Because at the end of the season, that it could come down to 2 points. And you go, God, if we just nicked a goal at the end there, we won the league.
Yeah.
So if you can kind of stay in that game and it's 1-1 on 80, 85 minutes and you can nick a winner, but as long as you don't concede a winner, that could be completely league changing. But I do look along those fixtures and I just see I can see Arsenal drawing and losing 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And I just don't think Liverpool or City will do what we will do in the loss department. What do you think?
I think the same. I think it all looks a bit too ominous, but I don't know if I'm looking at that through an old Arsenal fan's eyes.
It's hard not to, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm just not taking into account how good we actually are now, how solid.
Yeah.
And are we just going to compete to the end? And they will too. Like, are we all just going to win out? Like, just because it's that close, we're all that good. We've come this far in a long season, and it is this tight. I'd like to keep positive and think that we're all going to pretty much win out. No one's really going to drop points, and it's going to come down to something like a goal difference.
Yeah.
But there is that part of me that questions a lot of these matches because they do look a bit iffy. But are these...
It's tough because, like I said, if you were completely neutral, Arsenal are playing the best football and we're getting them best results.
Yeah.
So City have also got to go away from home to like a Brighton.
Yeah.
But we instantly look at that and go, oh, that's a loss.
It's usually a bogey team. Yeah.
But Brighton haven't been good this year.
No.
And we've been very good. So that should be a win.
Yeah.
But when we look at Liverpool going there, we go, oh, that's a Liverpool win. But when we look at us going, oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
There's no reason for that. It's just us panicking because we're Arsenal.
Well, yeah, the way we've done things in the past and the fact that most of these teams have been bogey teams for us before, has it changed? Are they not bogey teams now? They're not as good. We're better than we were. Like,
yeah, no, as far as the title race, it's going to be panicky. So join us every single Wednesday, Gunners Are Us. We'll be here on TikTok every 10 a.m. on a Wednesday.
We can all panic together.
Because we're going to have a panic 10 weeks. That's 10 episodes that are going to be crazier and crazier or sadder and sadder or happier and happier as weeks go on. I just want to bring up Chloe in the chat. I assume you're a Chelsea fan. I think I can see a Chelsea fan, yeah. And she was mentioning certain decisions that have been made, Sterling and stuff like this. And the difference between having no points and 9 points is them being in the top 6.
Yeah.
And that's so big because it's those fine margins. And we've talked about it for a while about Chelsea. We're saying that we think Chelsea has so much potential and they just got to, they have these moments where you just go, oh, they're going to, they figured it out.
Yeah.
Then they just regress. And I do think they're going to get it. And I think in the summer, if they can offload 6, 7, 8 players, condense that squad and then hone in on that squad, I do think they could be good next year. I don't think they're going to win the league, but I mean, they got to look at, I know it sounds arrogant, but at Arsenal and what we've done in that, like we said, the 5-year plan.
Yeah.
The first 3 years of this 5-year, the first 2 years of that 5-year plan were awful.
Yeah, not good.
They were just as bad as the Emery, if not worse than the Emery times. And even worse than the end of Wenger times.
Yeah.
But then the following year, it turned. So as long as you trust that process, I know that's a silly thing to bring up.
You have to.
You have to. And if Poch, this is the first one, if he'd won that Carabao Cup, it's almost reminiscent of Arteta's first year.
Yeah.
It was hit or miss. We were 8th in the league, but we brought a trophy in just to give him time.
Yeah.
And then the next year we came 6th or something. And then it goes to 5th and then it goes to 2nd, and you know what I mean, and you got to kind of sit with it and you have to really stick with it. So,
and like Chloe said as well, I personally give Poch another season. The majority of the fan base are Poch out though. I think we've said it before on here, I don't know if you've heard before, Chloe, but we're very positive about this Chelsea team. I think the squad, the squad is very good. Poch is good. I like the whole situation. I would do what you said, get rid of the deadwood, start again. 5-year pro. I don't know if Chelsea as a whole will allow that, just because they're very.
I think he's starting to. I think Bowley's starting to realize.
Yeah.
Poch has to stay because I mean, there's no other manager you're going to get that's better.
No.
He's young. The players seem to like him. Stick with it, and it'll come good. I think Bowley's realized he has to offload some players because he started to realize what he did was just not good.
Well, he was the crux of the problem, really.
There's so many players like Sanchez was a funny signing. I think you will get Ramsdale. I feel that way. People like Sterling and these guys. Nicholas Jackson is a good forward.
Yeah,
he's very frustrating, but he's a good forward.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of goodness there. And even Mudryk, I think he made a mistake getting Jorginho. Jorginho was the Sterling of the group.
Yeah,
you needed to keep Jorginho to kind of keep the team together and just calm them down. But I think we'll get rid of Sterling after this week.
And like you say, the fan base is always asked for managers to be out, or a portion of the fan base. Someone said it earlier about people, Arsenal fans wanted Arteta out in the early stages. I've never been a big fan of get the manager out.
Yeah.
Unless you can see a real issue that week to week isn't overcomable.
Yeah.
I don't like getting rid of managers. I
Yeah.
think they keep the whole thing together. And it's a long game. Like there's so much work that has to go into week to week, season to season to get things where you want them. It takes a lot of time. Because I wasn't a big Wenger out guy. I wanted Wenger to stay when everyone was trying to get rid of him. And we were doing very well at the time with Wenger and they still wanted him out. So I'm not a big fan of fan bases wanting managers.
It's very interesting with Chelsea's just been mentioned. The fan base is used to Roman Abramovich and he's firing and hiring.
Yeah.
So they're just not used to as soon as something goes bad, they're like, get rid of him, get a new one. And I mean, getting rid of Tuchel was the stupidest thing. But I mean, that's hindsight.
Yeah.
Something that has happened in the Premier League this week, I just want to have a brief one, is Forest 4-point deduction.
Yeah.
So they spent, here's the issue, and we'll do a TikTok on this. Forest spent more money than Everton, went over into their, if we're going to put this in layman's terms, overdraft of financial fair play. They went further over than Everton.
Okay.
And it was this one charge for that 1 year. Everton got 10 points. It got reduced to 6 points.
Yeah.
Forest, they've come in straight away and said, here's a 4-point deduction. Yeah. I don't know where they're getting these numbers from.
Yeah.
And what quantifies what. So, for example, Everton did this and they got 10. Forest did this and they got 4.
Yeah.
In that process, they went, oh, maybe, we should have done that with Everton. But why not that with Everton?
Yeah.
Why are they not identical? Why is it not 4 and 4?
It doesn't seem black and white.
Yeah. I don't see it. And again, if you look at Man City, there's, these are one charge each.
Yeah.
And they've charged them. They've done the thing. City have 115 waiting. That are proven.
Yeah.
Do they get 4 points for every charge? Do they? Is that how they do it?
I still think there's something to. Yeah.
I think they realise that City's lawyers are the best in the business.
Yeah.
And they're terrified to getting stuck in a 5-year battle with them about it.
Yeah.
Whereas Forest and Everton don't want to get mucked about. They don't want to end up in bankruptcy. They don't want to end up messing something up.
Yeah.
And they've gone, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And again, Everton can't afford to do this. Their owners are 777. They're not great owners. They're building a stadium. I've seen the pictures this week of it. The last thing they need is a legal battle that could, bankrupt them.
Yeah.
You can't bankruptcy.
No.
They don't care. I don't know if anyone saw it, but they released the amount of money that the directors and CEOs of each club were taking. Man City were top with 0. They take no money.
Wow.
So essentially they volunteer their services to the club.
Yeah.
Does that not seem dodgy to
That seems odd. Yeah.
And I think it was $7,000 that all the directors at Newcastle took for the year collectively. If you work at McDonald's, you take double that minimum.
Yeah.
It's madness.
In any business where they're not willing to.
And obviously, as you work it down, most clubs is like, 400,000, 600,000, $1 million.
Yeah.
Normal money for a director of a giant global company.
Yeah.
But it's just, when you look at that and you think, and they got 115 charges, the owners work for free.
Yeah.
This is so dodgy. They're just, but they're so scared to go after them. But poor Forest, they took it. And I think in the chat they've already mentioned could mean Luton staying up because of this.
Yeah.
Sorry. I have to mention your name based on this. Chloe, the Chelsea fan, said their new stadium looks like B-Tech White Hart Lane, and that is very good. B-Tech White Hart Lane is very good. Yeah, we'll do a TikTok on the deduction and the bizarreness of it. I have no clue where they're getting it. It's such a mess. So I think what we'll do is we'll move on to. But by the way, Forest do need to sell some players.
They do.
Left 8.
Yep.
Morgan Gibbs White.
Hell yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Let's go.
I like Morgan's. As far as Forest go,
Yeah.
Morgan Gibbs White, Alanga.
Yep.
I like both of them.
Yeah.
And I think there's the centre back, and I'm forgetting his name.
Ooh.
It starts with M. If the chat can help me, the Forest centre back. I think he's Brazilian.
Yeah.
It sounds like the Fulham centre forward, Muniz or something
Yeah.
like that. He's a very good. Every time I watch him, I think he seems like an Arsenal centre back.
Yeah.
He interests me. So if they were Murillo,
Corey
thank you very
Lowe,
much,
thank
Corey
you.
Lowe. They're the 3 players that I like. Obviously, we wouldn't take all of them. But if for me, it'd be Morgan Gibbs White. Another question: do you think Conor Gallagher is a good player? He's my favorite Chelsea. So Joe, we're moving into international talk here, and that's a nice transition because last night,
Thank you, Chloe.
we talked about England's new kits.
Yeah.
And they're unreal. They're overpriced. but they're really nice kits.
Yeah.
They're like potentially, top. If we're doing a tier thing, they're top.
High. They've got a retro feel. They look modern as well.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's nice.
We were talking about getting one, and Joe was saying, but what's nice about England is you can get a name on the shirt that isn't necessarily Arsenal.
Yeah, someone you wouldn't normally get.
Yeah,
Like I could easily get a Rice or a Saka, but I mean, there's players from other clubs I still like a lot,
yeah,
and this is an opportunity to get their names.
Yeah. And I had the same answer. I went, I don't know, Jude Bellingham. That'd be nice. That'd be really good.
Yeah.
I said, realistically, I want Rice or Saka. But I was like, Jude Bellingham would be nice.
That would be good.
And then Joe spewed something out of his mouth that I didn't expect to hear.
Yeah.
Which was, I'd get Conor Gallagher. Dead serious looking at me.
I like Conor Gallagher
He
a lot.
very much
We've
likes
mentioned
Conor
this on the podcast a lot.
I like him.
He's the focal point for this Chelsea team going forward.
They should have put all their eggs in the Mason Mount Kai Havertz thing. They got rid of them.
Yeah.
Now they have Conor Gallagher. Put everything into them. I've got a terrible feeling Tom Bowley's going to sell him.
Conor Gallagher.
And I'll take him as our left back.
I'd 100% take Conor Gallagher.
Mm.
He needs to stay at Chelsea. He needs to be the captain of Chelsea. He needs to be the focal point of Chelsea. He's quality.
Okay.
I'm a big Conor Gallagher.
And this is not positively Chelsea, so we're going to move on.
Love Conor Gallagher. That is the name. I would get the new white England shirt, Gallagher on the back, 23, I guess he'll be. I don't know.
Here's a question then, because we're going to, some of the things I want to talk about in the internationals was, what is the ideal England 11 for the Euros?
Ooh.
And I think we can all agree that the front six, as in the three in the midfield, the three forwards, there's probably six that we can all probably agree on.
Yeah.
With maybe one player missing. One player that we're not sure who sits in there.
Yeah.
But the defense is a very suspect area that we're not sure where we're going. So if we start with the front three, I think everyone in the world will agree.
Yeah.
Saka, Foden, Kane is all we need to do.
100%.
No, don't muck about with Rashford.
Yeah.
No Sterling.
Nope.
Even though he was unreal.
I like
the last tournament, he was way better than he should have been.
Yeah.
No Grealish.
Nope.
These are players coming off the bench.
Mhm.
Ollie Watkins, bench.
Yeah.
So Grealish, Rashford, and Watkins are on the bench, sitting behind Foden, Saka, and Kane.
Yeah.
Can we all agree on that?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Just want to say quickly before we move on, Chloe just said I wouldn't get an Arsenal player on my England shirt.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I appreciate
Fair.
that. So here's the other part. Midfield.
Yeah.
Jude Bellingham and Rice.
Oh, yeah.
These are definite.
That's
They're the
unreal.
best two. They're potentially the best two midfielders with Camavinga in the whole world, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with that. Who is the other player? Because I've seen a lot of people putting these England teams together, and they have Jude Bellingham sitting with Rice. And what they don't realize is he's essentially just a full-on number 10 now.
He's attacking.
He's a very, attacking forward.
Yeah.
Rice can play with Arsenal. He plays, 6 deep defensive midfield,
Yeah.
or he plays either side on the 8.
Mm.
England don't necessarily play with an 8, but I think because it's Southgate, you probably play with 2 defensive.
Yeah.
So therefore, you would put, because it's a Southgate team, a defensive player next to him.
Mm.
It will be Jordan Henderson.
Can it not be Stones?
So that's the odd one, because Stones doesn't play there. He inverts there.
True.
And Southgate doesn't have brain.
Not big brain.
To do that. He's not a big brain. Here's the question. If Rice is the 6 and Bellingham, let's say he's a right 8/10, who is the middleman?
What, the links it all together?
Yeah.
Conor Gallagher.
So that's what I was going to say. Is that where you'd put him? That's
where I'd put Conor Gallagher, 100%.
We got people saying in the chat, Trent next to Rice. I get that because it's someone who can link it all. It's just, I don't know who that player is. I like Mainu a lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't bode well that Southgate's only just brought him up yesterday.
It might be a little bit too early for him to be the starting player.
I think you bring him to the Euros, obviously.
Yeah.
In that third group game, he plays that game. If we're 2-0 up in a quarters, you bring him on to solidify it. I do genuinely think they can trust him with that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't necessarily bring him on at 1-0 down or 1 up or anything like that. But that's the one area I think in England that we don't know exactly. We know Bellingham, Rice, we know Saka, Foden, and Kane. Who's that other midfielder? But as far as defenders and goalies, Pickford's going to start.
Yeah.
Which, again, for a team that has to play out from the back, not the best keeper to choose, but he will. And he's going to play Maguire.
100%. Yeah.
So Maguire and Stones is what he's going to do. I wish it was Mark Gahey. Personally.
Yeah.
Tomori's a really good centre-back.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good centre-backs, but it's going to be Branthwaite, I really like.
He's very good.
But it's going to be Pickford, Maguire, and Stones. Who are the fullbacks? because James is not reliable with injury. Ben White refused to play, which we'll get to in a sec. Trent is there, but he can't. Yeah, it will be Trippier.
Yeah.
But because Trent, I don't think he trusts.
No.
There's certain players that Southgate has an issue with, and I think Trent is in that category with Ben White.
Yeah.
A little bit, and he will play Trippier and Maguire, which is honestly, I think, madness. Because you've seen the drop off of Trippier this year. We all thought Trippier was great 2 years ago and the years before, and then last year at Newcastle, fantasy football wise, you'd have Trippier in your team.
Yeah.
This year, nightmare. It's just not. I don't know. They've had a lot of injuries, which is probably making him more exposed. But no, I know Trippier's not in this squad. He's going to be in the Euro squad though.
Yeah.
But I think he will play him though.
Yeah, I think so.
And which is a whole different set.
You got Carl
issues.
Walker.
Carl Walker, I think, should play still.
He seems to stay as good a player at his older age now. Like, he doesn't seem to drop off.
Yeah, I like Carl Walker. It's just that defense just seems so. When you look at that front six, even if you put Mainoo or Conor Gallagher or it will be Jordan Henderson, and this is the issue I have is Southgate is the issue, and that's why I want him to go to Man United because I think it'll be hilarious.
Yeah,
because I think he's fumbling a golden era of players. And again, the next manager is going to be unreal because these players are going to be 25.
Yeah.
But they might not have Kane. And that's, we start getting into this weird, we miss out a couple of world classes. All of a sudden, Trippier and Walker and Kane disappear out of that team.
Yeah.
And you have to find the new versions of these players. And I know Ollie Watkins is very good.
Yeah.
But I think Harry Kane might actually be generational of how good he actually is.
You can't drop Harry Kane no matter what.
But I mean, the next tournament, he's going to be in his, 33, that kind of age, 34, I think. Or is Kane one of these that looks younger? He's
probably.
He's probably 20. Yeah, he's 23.
Right, probably.
Kane's 23, so don't worry about what I just said. But can we jump onto the Ben White of it all?
Yeah.
So Ben White's not in the team. He's asked them not to pick him.
Yeah.
And people saying there's a lot of people saying this is a disgrace. There's a lot of people not understanding the situation.
Yeah.
Connor Cody did an interview and said basically there's no one that trains harder than Ben White.
Yeah.
He loves it. He loves playing for England, all this kind of stuff. That's interesting. The year which he got picked first, he said it was the proudest moment of his life.
Yeah.
He said his family all cried. He cried.
Uh-huh.
None of this is matching up that was the guy that got picked 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's how he reacted.
Yeah.
That the players of England are saying he trains harder than anyone in England. He's the best. He's great to have around. He just signed a contract extension at Arsenal.
Yeah.
All the players said he's a warrior. He plays for injury. You'll never need someone more than Ben White in your team because he is just a warrior. Just has to play, has to win. Will find a way to win.
Probably my second choice of name on the back of the shirt.
Yeah. And if you're not an Arsenal fan, everyone thinks Love Island, tanning beds. If you're an Arsenal fan or any player that's played with him, everyone's like, "Oh, really? I didn't even notice."
Yeah.
He's just a hardworking player that plays properly. This isn't adding up. That giant circle that I've just created is of a hardworking player that everyone loves, and he loves it playing for England. He's now he left the World Cup.
He did, yeah.
He doesn't play. He doesn't want to be picked for this team. So when you think of those things I just mentioned,
yeah.
Now, sorry, I had to verify the TikTok live. There's a little puzzle piece that I was struggling with.
You play a little game mid podcast.
You got to do it.
I enjoyed that.
The circle right in the middle is Steve Holland and Gareth Southgate.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is I don't want to play for England because I've seen people say in journalism, my granddad was at the war for Ben White to do this. I don't think it's that deep. I think there might be a personal issue between the manager and the player.
Definitely.
That I guess what? When Southgate goes to the Euros and fumbles us at the quarterfinals and he goes to Man United to have a load of fun there.
Yeah.
And we bring in bloody Pep Guardiola as the next manager. Guess what? Ben White's going to play.
Yeah.
And he's going to be unreal and everyone's going to be happy with it.
I think wasn't it something to do with Steve Holland taking umbrage with the fact that he said he doesn't watch football?
Supposedly the story is at training, Steve Holland brought up an interview he did that we all talk about where he says, I don't like football. I don't watch football. It's
a job.
It's a job. In different words. If you ask the football players, they say there's no one that's more obsessed with football than Ben White.
Yeah.
So it's obviously just something he put out there because if you've ever watched his interviews, someone will say, is it the emotion and the friendship between Arsenal that makes you so good? And he'll answer, I think we're just quite good at football. His interviews are hilarious. I think
funny.
he's a sarcastic human being.
Yeah.
And I think that interview he did back then, he was just saying it because he was like, I don't really care what you think of me.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say stuff and see what you react to.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it was a real. I think he lies. I think in the media, he just says what he wants because he doesn't really care.
Yeah.
And I think in real reality, in the day to day, he just loves football.
Yeah.
I think he didn't like the fact that Steve Holland essentially brought it up and probably believed it.
Yeah.
And I think there's just a personal issue. And I know his gran was unwell during the World Cup.
Yeah.
And I think he must have mixture of that plus Southgate not playing him, even though he should have been playing him.
Yeah.
He probably was like, "Why are you wasting my time when I can see my gran?"
He's like, I don't need to be here.
And I can respect that.
Yeah.
So I think there's more to it than we know.
Yep.
I think it's a personal thing, and I'm sure one day it will come out. In the chat, we've been asked, do we have a YouTube? We do have a YouTube. We have Gunners Are Us podcast YouTube, and we also have TBA Wrestling.
Yeah.
TBA Wrestling is
if
also...
you're a wrestling fan, you can check that out.
It is, yeah. And we obviously here on TikTok, we're Gunners Are Us. We're also TBA Wrestling on TikTok. We do videos every single day. The other thing we do is we are sponsored by SeatGeek.
Shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring. We recently became a brand ambassador for them. SeatGeek is a ticket app that takes confusion out of buying tickets. They have a 0 to 10 score on each ticket to know if you're getting a good or bad deal. Green is good, red is bad. Plus, our listeners get $20 off their first ticket purchase with our code TBA Wrestling. Click the link in the description to download the app. Remember code TBA Wrestling. Thanks again to SeatGeek.
Yes, that's our SeatGeek sponsor that will be on the podcast. You've just heard it. And everyone on TikTok, because you didn't hear that, because it's in real time, TBA Wrestling is our SeatGeek sponsor. So if you go to a promo code on the website, you can put TBA Wrestling, you get $20 off your first purchase on any sporting event. There's WrestleMania coming up. You can go see the NBA, see the NFL. You can see Arsenal's preseason tour in America. So yeah, TBA Wrestling for $20 off your first purchase.
And the reason we stopped for a second there and started jigging a little bit is because when we edit this later, it's a lot easier to see that little sound gap.
That's exactly what it is.
And the first time we did this, we sat very still, and a lot of people in the chat thought it had frozen.
Yeah.
So we had to give you a little jig there.
I've just been asked if we ever spoken to Robbie from AFTV. No, I don't like Robbie. I don't like AFTV. I like Arscast.
Arscast good.
That's
Arsenal
about
Vision.
it. Yeah, and I like Ian Wright. That's all I have. That's all I've got for you. I don't.
I'm not a big fan of negatives.
Yeah, Chloe's just subscribed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chloe. Hell yeah.
But the last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here, because I said we're going to do a quick one. We're nearly at an hour.
Wow.
Time flies
Easy.
when you're having fun. Haaland did limp out of Norway training. Gabriel has come back from Brazil.
Yep.
Training anyway. They're training in England. Jesus wasn't there.
Nope.
Martinelli isn't there because of the cut.
Mm-hmm.
All our Brazilians are home. If we are lying, we're training at the same place as the Brazil team.
They're going to have to stay away.
They're going to have to hide from them.
Yeah.
But we joked about it a couple of weeks ago that essentially what will happen is any team that is in a title race or in Champions League, things like this international break is the stupidest international break. It's right in the run-in. It's right where injuries could happen. There's 10 games left. So Pep and Klopp and Ferguson in history are very good at those players going down in the last minute of the game that's prior to those international breaks. What I wanted this year was Arsenal to be that team.
Yeah.
They get a bit like that. And I think we have to an extent. There's a lot of players still at home. You know, at the minute, I think we've got a 20-year-old youth keeper as our goalie at training because everyone else has gone out to their internationals. But I mean, Ben White is still home. Gabriel is still home. Supposedly injured. I hope he's not out of the Man City game. That'd be awful.
Yeah.
We've got people like, I don't think Jorginho's gone this time.
Nope.
So there's players all over. Jesus, Martinelli's still there.
Yeah.
We've got a little bunch that are kind of staying. And Partey has said he's not going out with Ghana. So because of injuries.
Yeah.
So we've done it nicely enough that there's enough players back, but there's still people like Rice and Saka. And if Southgate plays 90 minutes twice with those two, I'll be livid. But there's just a lot happening and Haaland's now walked out. I can't remember who it was, but Liverpool had a couple pull out.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're starting to drop Kane out of Bayern, but I do think that's a real injury.
Yeah.
I just want us to pull Saka.
Yeah, just get him out of there.
That's what I want.
Get him home safe.
Yeah, and as much as, again, I struggle to watch England when Saka and Rice aren't playing, because I like seeing our players and see how they're getting on. When all of a sudden it's, Conor Gallagher and Watkins.
Yeah.
All
right.
I get a little frustrated. No, I don't. I like Conor Gallagher. That's one thing you can take from this podcast is we like Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, we do.
But no, there's been a lot of injuries. The Haaland one, it was a bit elaborate if it is a fake injury because he was actively hobbling. I mean, if we're getting to a point where they're out now putting it on for, like, he's Fabian, the Norway coaches.
Well, he spent some time with the great John Cena recently.
He did.
So he's learning how to sell.
He did. So I don't know if that's the case, but is he going to be fit in 10 days? Yes.
Yeah, he's a machine.
Of course he is.
Whatever happens.
And let's just pray Arsenal have all the good faith as far as injuries go. What I would like to say before we leave is, like I said, calm before the storm. As of next week, this is going to get crazy.
Just relax for a sec, shall we?
It's going to get really wild. It's going to be a roller coaster to the end of the season. God knows what's going to happen. We do have a Premier League table that we created before the not the international break, but the winter break.
Oh, yeah.
And already looking at it, I can see that we had Chelsea in 5th. So, interesting.
That'd be good for them.
What I'll do is we'll revise that at the end of the season, as well as get involved in the Euros this summer and obviously transfer window, things like that. But it's going to get crazy going forward. We can breathe now, but as of next week, no more breathing.
Nope.
It's going to get crazy. But make sure you follow us. Yeah, like I said, TikTok, Gunners R Us, iTunes, Spotify, places like that. 5-star review would be so helpful. Joe, do you have an outro?
I do, just about. I got one going just as we started.
Okay.
So this weekend, England are going to enjoy a luxurious combination of Brazilian coffee and Belgian chocolate. On Saturday night, we're going to grind Brazil's beans. On Tuesday night, we're going to melt Belgium's chocolate, and we're going to enjoy a victory mocha next week. Come on, England!
Coffee then.